Hi, love. Good morning. It's Lindsay Landry, energy alchemist and heart shaman for healers, visionaries, and soul led women who are ready to step into their soul's work, be seen, get paid, and call in massive pleasure, prosperity, and flow. I'm so delighted to be here with you today. It is 5:47 in the morning here. I'm drinking coffee and decided to drop in to have this conversation with you. Later today, I'm going to go meet my grandmother and go to our Mardi Gras parade. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be helping her doing some cleaning up at the camp, the lake where I used to live, my little nest, my sanctuary. So I'm super excited about, the next couple of days and wanted to take this time to share this conversation that's been stirring on my heart. So what I want to talk about today is the gap between your vision, what you see for yourself, what you can feel deep in your core, your bones, that you're meant for and that is meant for you, and where you currently are. So this is something that, I do talk about it quite often, and today I want to sort of bring it home in a different way. So when we are in challenging life situations, right, and we have this vision of what we want, whether that is having a full practice, doing our soul's work, getting paid really well for the work we're doing, and having dream clients that are a dream to work with. They love working with you just as much as you love working with them. They do the work, they get results, they are open, they're receptive, they're inspired. And it's like, it feels easy, it feels effortless. And then you can see the ripples of the way the work you're doing with them is also impacting their clients, their relationships. And it's like, it just lights this fire within you because you can see that the big ripple that you are creating, not just in your life, but in many other lives, right? And so it's like, oh, yes, that. So yeah, whether, it's that as your vision, or maybe it's building a home or traveling, or having a partner that you absolutely just can't believe you get to do life with them. And you're on this gear together where you are creating in life as individuals and also together, like a sacred union. And it nourishes you and touches you in such a way that, again, it ripples and feeds the work you're doing, fuels the work you're doing, right? So when we have these levels of visions and desires, I believe that that is a soul desire. I know I am on this planet for relationships. Like, relationships, when I'm in those levels of relationships, they touch me and inspire me in such a way. It does amplify everything else I'm doing in my life. When I'm in really shitty, crappy relationships, that also touches and inspires everything I'm doing in such a way that it influences my whole life. For some people, traveling is this, right? When they travel, they receive such a level of nourishment that it ripples into their whole life. So knowing what that thing is for you, what those things are for you that nourish you and activate you on that deep soul level is really, really important. And just because you don't have them right now doesn't mean that you can't prime your energy to receive them. I've been reading the book A Return to Love, and one of the things that she talks about in that book is our ability to receive is not about our worth or value. It's actually more about our availability. And you can go listen to some of the last podcasts where I talk about the energetic blocks to receiving abundance, or the energetics, right, of receiving. If our energy isn't set up to receive, it's going to be really challenging to receive. Okay, so I'm not going into the energetics of being able to receive in this specific episode, but I just wanted to sort of lay that foundation for the conversation that we're having. So the gap, right? So what is the actual gap between the vision and where you are? And what I see for so many people is there's this fear and this resistance that kicks in. And what happens is we tighten up, and this is where the story kicks in. And our mind starts spinning, going down these rabbit holes, and it actually takes you out of the moment of being present with what is and cultivating the environment for the abundance, for the vision that you're deeply desiring. So I want to give you some examples. When I was first bringing my business online, it was 2014, and I was in a relationship at the time, and I remember feeling so stuck, so in my head, right? Like, I would stare at the computer. I'd sit at the computer for hours trying to write an email, and then I'd come back and I'd look at the email and, tweak it some more. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know who I was talking to. I was listening to all of these, trainings on what's needed to grow your business and start your business. But then when I would sit down to implement it, it was like I was frozen. And I was in my head rather than coming from a place of my heart and what I absolutely knew and what I really wanted to be sharing, right? Because I was in my head, I was cut off from my heart and what really wanted to move through me and be shared through me. And so I remember one day making the decision, like I asked myself, like, okay, if I had everything that I wanted right now, if the money was flowing in, if the clients were flowing in, then what? And I realized, like, one of the things that I really deeply desired was space to flow throughout my day. And I decided I was going to really sink my teeth into that and savor that So what I started to do was in the morning when I would wake up, I began making myself a green smoothie and like savoring it. Not just my smoothie, but the space that I had. Like, yes, this is why I'm building my own business, because I want space for myself. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. Then I'd go to the gym and I'd go work out, and I'd go to these aerobics classes, and I do the same thing. Like, just really appreciate that I was able to be at this class and let myself have the full body experience of it, right? Not just in my mind of like, oh yeah, I'm grateful for XYZ, but like really, really sinking into that and feeling it. And I think this is the gap, right? So we have the vision, but we can't feel it, and we have the gratitude in our mind, but we're not feeling it in our body. And manifestation principles of having what you want, your capacity to have what you want, part of it is an embodiment process. It's the same thing in relationship to doing your soul's work. So often people come to me and they like, well, I'm speaking my truth, and people just look at me and they're either not receiving it, they're not fully hearing me, they're misinterpreting me, or they're not respecting me or honoring me in the way that I really desire to be respected and honored. And the reason is because the energy is not fully embodied. It's not anchored in, it's not grounded. When you speak your truth from a really anchored, grounded place, people will respond differently. It makes me think about The Dog Whisperer, if you've ever seen that show, where he's teaching people to work with dogs. And the owners could be doing the exact same thing as him, and the dog doesn't listen to them. But his energy is so anchored and so grounded that they respond to him, and he barely even has to do anything. It's the same thing for us energetically. And when I'm working with clients, this is the work we're doing. I'm training you to understand and know yourself energetically. And then I'm teaching you how to work with your own energy to meet those places in yourself that are frozen, that are collapsing, that have been leaving, right? They're like, peace out. I'm going to another dimension. Well, if that part of you is not here and you're speaking up, of course your message is going to be diluted because you're not fully here. This is sovereignty, taking full responsibility for your energy. No matter where you are, whether you are in line at the grocery store or you are in front of a client that could potentially pay you $10,000, you have the opportunity to be sovereign. Whether you are sipping a green smoothie or drinking your coffee, or you are doing your soul's work, you have the opportunity to be sovereign. One should not be different from the other. So whenever we blame our situation and say, well, I can't be XYZ, I can't do my soul's work because I'm in this situation. Well, actually, that's a bigger invitation for you to step into your soul's work, to step into your sovereignty. Now is the time. I want to share another story. So after Ken's accident, so I lost my home in the hurricane, and then Ken got into his accident, and I ended up moving to Alabama. And when I moved to Alabama, I had quite a bit of money saved. And also, we had a lot of expenses. Ken had a lot of expenses, and it wasn't technically mine. And then at the same time, it was a very interesting situation because, I prayed about it a lot. Like, what am I being guided to do, and how do we do this? And I, you know, I did what I felt guided to do, and we used my credit cards, we used the money in my savings to set up our life and to live. And it was hard. It was really hard for so many reasons because, one, my ego hated it. I was terrified. I was so afraid because I was in a relationship for 10 years and we kept everything separate. We did not share finances at all. And then Ken was terrified. He was terrified because he hated receiving from me. And so it was kind of crunchy. It was kind of challenging. And then for a man, right? Not being physically capable to go to work and make money. And that was terrifying for him. And so here we were, and I remember looking at him and telling him I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. And so often we're in these situations, and I'm not telling you that I did this perfectly, right? But there were many times when it was excruciating crunchy, and I'm like, I don't know if I can be in this situation. I feel like I need to leave. Every part of me wanted to leave. I don't know if he'll ever walk again. This is terrifying, right? And this is what happens, right, when we are growing our business as well. Oh my God, I'm going to step into my soul's work. I might lose everything that I have. This is terrifying. I've been killed before for this. I've been rejected. I've been shunned. People have called me crazy. My body is a full no. Every part of me is saying no, even though there's this burning deep inside of me between me and God that is saying, this is it. This is where I want you. Whew. Yeah, can you feel it? So I found this place when I was in this situation, and it was very real and true for me, and it still is real and true for me. And I would look Ken in the eyes and tell him I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. I wouldn't be willing to do this with anybody else. And so it can be really tricky, right? Because here I am in the relationship that I've wanted. And then we're in this situation that fucking sucks. And it's hard. And my mind just can't even believe it. It doesn't make sense. And every possible struggle that could be a potential is active. Can I love here? Can I show up here? And this is the school that I've been in. Can I say yes to being here? Even when being myself means feeling like a victim. Even when showing up as myself, I feel like I have absolutely nothing to offer because I'm so tired and scared. Can I say yes anyway? Even when I'm terrified of being judged. I'm terrifying of people saying, well, I wouldn't have stayed in that situation. I would have left. I can't believe she stayed. That is ridiculous. Can I stay anyway? Because that's what God is asking me to do. That is what my heart and soul in this place inside of me is saying, no, this is where I want you. This is what I'm calling you towards. And so when we're in these moments of being at the job we hate, being in the relationship that feels like I have no fucking idea how this is ever going to change, being on the edge of our business when it feels like walking through fire and feeling like you're about to burn yourself and everything around you to the ground. Where's the gap? The gap is in our ability to find the sweet spots. Even if that sweet spot is, I'm doing it. I'm actually doing the thing that I wanted to do and it fucking sucks. I hate the way this feels and I'm doing it. Okay, I really wanted a relationship. I'm in the relationship. Right now it feels really crappy. And where's the opportunity for growth? Could you find that gear of looking your partner in the eye and saying, I really want to learn this with you and no one else, even though it fucking sucks right now? I have no idea how to do this, but I really want to learn this with you. Or can you be at the job and find that gear in yourself of, okay, there's some places where I need to claim my sovereignty. I am making money. Maybe not the way that I want to be making money. I am showing up consistently every day to work. Maybe I'm not being treated the way that I really want to be treated, and I know I should be treated. But there's an opportunity here for me to step more into my sovereignty, and I'm going to use this space as training grounds to do that. I'm going to use this as an opportunity, like I'm going to the gym and I'm lifting weights and I'm working out and I'm toning myself. I'm strengthening myself. I'm getting into shape. I'm receiving this like it is the best training life could potentially give me so that I can step into the vision that I'm really wanting to birth. I'm a yes to that because I know if I want to lift 200 pounds, I have to be able to strengthen my muscles. So I'm willing to start right here, right now, with what is in front of me. That, my love, is sovereignty. And that is how you build unshakable confidence in yourself, in your gifts. And that is how you build unshakable confidence that you absolutely know you are moving towards your vision and it's happening. It is happening. Let me know below how this is landing for you. And if you know that you're ready to go deeper, you are ready to get to these places within yourself that need tending, need some reclaiming. You're ready to find this gear of standing in yourself, really becoming the queen, CEO of your business and your life. Reach out to me and let's talk. It's your time, my love. I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you in the next episode.